Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, host of the Football History Dude podcast, right here on the Sports History Network. Now, before we jump into another sports history adventure, let me tell you about this episode's sponsor. We partnered with Rochester Sports Autographs, the largest JSA authenticated autograph distributor in the United States, where you can get deals on over 30,000 autographed sports collectibles. They even have film, music, and other entertainment autographs on the site, so there's something for everyone. Perhaps you're looking for a gift for Mother's Day, or maybe Father's Day. Heck, who needs a holiday as an excuse to give a piece of sports history to your loved ones? Or how about yourself? Today seems like a great day to add to your sports cave, right? But how is RSA able to offer such great deals on JSA authentication, you ask? Well, they do this by making deals directly with athletes, so there are no extra markups, and they choose to pass these savings on to the customer. All orders from Rochester Sports Autographs are top quality and shipped to your door with top authentication and money-back guarantee. And to make sure RSA knows that the Sports History Network sent you, we created a special link for you. All you have to do is head to shoprsa.com/SHN. Again, that's shoprsa.com/SHN. Head over there to get your piece of sports history today.
We have an interesting episode for you today. On the Jersey Dispatch podcast, we are going to be talking about the jerseys of Major League Baseball and some new and exciting things for 2023. Stay tuned for the latest here on the Sports Jersey Dispatch podcast, coming up in just a moment. Hello, sports friends. This is Darren Hayes. You've heard me over the last few years on the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch podcast. Well, I'm on a journey to learn more about sports history in the games of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, and more. And I want to learn it by the gear and the apparel that the players are wearing. So you can learn a lot about player numbers, the players that wore them, the team's apparel and uniform, and the history of the game. There's so much to be learned, and I'm going to be on that journey. I want to take you along with me on a daily podcast to go through Sports Jersey Dispatch. Won't you join me now? Hello, my friends in sports history. This is Darren Hayes of the Sports Jersey Dispatch podcast. Welcome once again to the Pig Pen, your place for all things great in sports history. And welcome to this edition where we will talk about the 2023 Major League Baseball uniforms that are coming out. Yeah, the season is right around the corner. We are probably about a month away, less than a month away of the season coming out. And we have some great things that are coming on in the uniforms that you need to be aware of. First of all, the Major League Baseball has some rule changes on the uniforms, and we have some adornments that are going to come on to the uniforms that have not been seen in the past. But before we get to those, let's make sure you know about our newsletter. We have a daily newsletter that comes from the Pig Pen. That's everything on Pigskin Dispatch. That's everything on Jersey Dispatch, Orville Mulligan Sports Writer, and many items from the Sports History Network as well. So make sure you do it. And sign up. It's very easy to do. You can go to the show notes of this very podcast, the top of jerseydispatch.com or pigskinddispatch.com, and subscribe. And I think you'll be glad that you do it. Every day, 6:30 a.m., you'll get an email knowing everything that's going on in the Pig Pen, and that's sports history all in one. So make sure you do that. Now let's get into these Major League Baseball rules. Now the biggest thing as far as the uniform in Major League Baseball, we know about the pitch clock and having clocks timing baseball. That's an amazing thing. All it's right. So that sort of takes center stage in rule changes. But the uniforms, after all, this is Jersey Dispatch and the Sports Jersey Dispatch podcast. What we're going to talk about is the teams were restricted this year to have just 4 uniform choices that they could have for the year. That's home and away. And they also have one more that's decided by Nike, who has their City Connect series of uniforms, which are using sort of the color scheme of the teams traditionally and bringing a little bit of flair and maybe some wording that's not normally seen on a uniform, and trying to grab some of the uniqueness of the city that these teams are from. So, some great examples of that you'll see here in the City Connect series for the Major League Baseball uniforms. And some teams are going to have to cut down on the amount of uniforms they have to get down to that 4. So it should be interesting. I think most of them are going to go with 2 home and 2 away jerseys, so they have a little bit of variety to spice things up as they're seen by the fans both in person and on the television. And that should be interesting all in itself. Now, there's going to be some big reveals coming up here in the next few weeks of what the teams will be wearing, and I'm sure all of the franchises will be announcing that very soon, and it should be very interesting indeed. Now, there's also a rule where there can be some adornments of advertising on a Major League Baseball jersey. And these are sleeve advertising patches in 2023. Now, so far, there's only a handful of teams that have chosen to go this way of having a sponsor put their logo or name on the jersey sleeve of the uniform. And we're going to go through each of those teams and talk a little bit about them. Now, first of all, the Arizona Diamondbacks announced that their sponsor, Avnet, A-V-N-E-T, will be putting that adornment on their uniforms with a sleeve patch with it's going to say Avnet on the Arizona baseball jerseys. So this will be all 4 plus 1, the 4 that the teams choose plus the 1 that the City Connect by Nike will have this patch on there, and I'm sure Avnet is paying a pretty good price to have that advertisement on there as well. The Boston Red Sox are another team that will be doing the same thing. Their sponsor, Mass Mutual, will have their name on every Red Sox player's jersey on the sleeve, on the patch. Now, the Houston Astros are another team that are having the advertisement, and theirs will be the Occidental Petroleum Corporation, and they will display a patch with the OXY on the Astros jerseys in 2023. So that'll be a unique blend of advertising for them. Now, the Los Angeles Angels also have chosen to go the route of advertising on their jerseys, and the Foundation Building Materials will be having that their patch on there, and their patch will read FBM, right of a tree logo that is famous for the Foundation Building Materials. So they get a little bit of color, a little image there, and FBM to describe Foundation Building Materials. And finally, we have the Cincinnati Reds will have Kroger Groceries be the official sponsor of the Cincinnati Reds 2023 baseball uniforms, and they will have a Kroger patch. I'm assuming the Kroger famous emblem on the patch there, so that they will be recognized and get some advertising on all the Major League Ball, and probably going to be a lot more close-ups into those sleeves that the patches are on, so I'm sure the sponsors want to get their money's worth, and the TV people will, I'm sure, will oblige to them, because I'm sure they are getting paid to do that, and that's what sponsorship is all about. And why not get the sponsors involved in this, and let them get some advertising. Hopefully they don't turn out to be like billboards and bus stop signs and like a race car and NASCAR. With all the things, but just tastefully having a small little patch on there, I'm okay with that. What are your thoughts on that? There was also some talk about maybe having a patch on the ball caps of the players as well. I don't think that went through. I haven't heard much more about that. I know that was being talked around a little bit last year. I think that would ruin things a little bit with a side patch or a back patch with the thing. But the jersey, I'm okay with that. Why don't you send us your thoughts on what you think about these jersey adornments with the patches for advertising? And like we said, there's only, 6 teams that chose to do that for 2023. The rest of the league has said, no, we're going traditionally, go our 4+1 uniforms and no patches on it. We don't want the advertiser. Maybe they tried to get advertising, couldn't get somebody to pay that price. I'm sure it's a pretty steep price to have it on every single player on the team. And tell us your thoughts. PigskinDispatch@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And maybe in a future date, we will play some of those and let you know what the fans are thinking about the patches on 2023 Major League Baseball uniforms. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of jersey history, a little history in the making, as we see. And hope you enjoy it, and love to have you listen to us each and every time that the Pig Pen comes on jerseydispatch.com. And we have a couple times a week where we're going on pigskindispatch.com. We'd love to have you there as well. But don't worry, every single day we have new and exciting things coming on jerseydispatch.com and pigskindispatch.com to keep you in tune with what's going on in a day's history. Hall of Fame birthdays, events that happened on certain days. Football realm, we cover that on Pigskin Dispatch. Baseball, basketball, hockey, and beyond, we're covering on jerseydispatch.com and the Sports Jersey Dispatch podcast. And we're going to have a slew of authors on both podcasts coming up, so stay tuned for that. We've got some very interesting stories. We're going to talk to you about the sports world from the Dispatch and the Pig Pen. So till next time, everybody, have a great sports history day. Sorry, but my pitching coach just called timeout, and he's coming out to the mound. I think I'm going to get yanked for a reliever. We'll see you back tomorrow for some more great sports history on Sports Jersey Dispatch Podcast. We invite you to check out our websites, jerseydispatch.com and pigskindispatch.com. Not only see the daily sports history, but to experience the preservation of great events and people that play the games. Find us on Pigskin Dispatch. It's also on social media outlets on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all your daily sports history. Pigskin Dispatch is happy to be associated with the Sports History Network, the sports headquarters of yesteryear, found at sportshistorynetwork.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.